have a newborn. Any newborn nannies out there trying to figure out how to get your baby down for a nap? This is Rainey from ososimply.com. Have you ever realized, too late, that you should have put the baby down for a nap long ago? If you put them down now, they won't sleep through the night. Maybe they're already overly tired and can't stay calm long enough to sleep. Babies need a consistent sleep schedule to be pleasant. Kids thrive with routines and schedules. It may seem like it would be easier to let them decide when they're ready for a nap, but if that were the case, they'd never sleep. Naps should be a regular and pleasant part of your kid's day. Even when your kids get past the age that they need naps, you can always keep this time for rests. Most of the time, they will still doze off if you follow these tips from the very beginning. Make nap time the same time every day. Follow the same routine that leads up to naps. Leave time in between their most recent feeding and nap time so they can get rid of any gas or bursts of energy before going down for their nap. Always change their diaper right before nap time, even if it's not full. Swaddle them and take all toys, stuffed animals, and blankets no matter how old they are. Play some form of white noise and put them down sleepy, but not asleep. You shouldn't be silent when your baby is sleeping. Think about it. It wasn't silent in the womb. They heard everything their mom was doing and what she was listening to during the day. Also, if you're too quiet during their daytime naps, it will make it harder for them later to differentiate between daytime and nighttime sleeping. It may seem like your baby is sleeping a ton. Don't worry. They need a ton of sleep when they're that little. Those long naps won't continue forever, and when they stop, you'll wish for them back. As kids start growing, they will need less frequent, shorter naps. Below, you can see how much your kids should be sleeping. When they reach the end of their toddler years, naps will be a source of contention. Your toddler will do everything in their power and imagination to try and convince you that they're just not sleepy. At this point, introducing rest or quiet time will give them the opportunity to wind down and give you a deserved break. Swaddling is a method of wrapping your baby in a blanket snugly to simulate being held closely. Swaddling keeps babies warm and comfortable while they're asleep. The tightness of the wrap also keeps their involuntary movements from startling them awake. One of the risks of swaddling your newborn is, by making the swaddle too tight, their chest can be compressed. The added pressure of the swaddle can make it difficult for them to breathe. My rule of thumb for swaddling a baby is to leave enough space in the wrap for your thumb to fit in the top without feeling too tight. There shouldn't be enough room in the wrap for your baby to make any big movements. If you don't feel comfortable or have the patience to wrap your newborn in a receiving blanket, try one of these swaddles. You just have to Velcro the two pieces over their chest after tucking in their arms. It's so easy, and one of my favorites for getting them down for a nap in record time. I also love to wrap my little ones in a swaddle blanket during the hotter times of the year because they're more breathable so it doesn't overheat them. They can also be adjusted as they grow in those early months. You can also use the receiving blanket you get from the hospital for the first few days to see if they'll work for you. If you guys would like to see how I wrap my little worm in one, comment below. I'd love to make a video for y'all. Once your little one starts moving in their sleep, you should not use a blanket to wrap them. The blanket could come undone and prove to be a hazard in their crib. To give them that comfort without the danger of a blanket, use a sleep sack like this. There are always warnings about whether or not the baby's arms should be wrapped in or left out. It depends on one thing. Can your baby roll from their back to their front by themselves? If they can't, their arms can be wrapped in, and they should be placed on their back. This will lower the risk of SIDS because they won't have anything inhibiting their ability to breathe. If your baby can effortlessly roll from their front to their back and prefers to sleep on their tummy, leave their arms unswaddled. Sleeping on their tummy doesn't increase the risk of SIDS as long as they can roll onto their back when they want. In order for them to do so, their arms must be unswaddled. One of my favorite arm-out sleep sacks for the winter is this fleece one. This kind of sleep sack bundles your 3-month and up babies with one zip. I love how much wiggle room this one gives them. It's like the perfect in-between of a blanket and a swaddle. It keeps them warm through the night while letting them roll around freely. In the autumn, I do make it a point to only put them in a onesie and socks with this sleep sack. I find the fleece one makes my little guy too hot during his naps when he has on sweatpants or footy pajamas. Remember, babies don't regulate their temperature on their own, so keep an eye on them during their first few naps in a new swaddle or sleep sack. You may need to add more clothes under or take off a layer to make them more comfortable. All in all, you can win this battle. With the tips and video above, you too can get your baby down in under 2 minutes. I really hope this helps and gives you all that moment to breathe you need to make it through the day. I'd love to hear of any tips or tricks you use to get your baby down for a nap. Comment below, and if you haven't already, sign up for my newsletter to receive updates and additions on my future posts. See you next Friday!